guys, and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron, and welcome back today to another video. A little bit of a surprise video. We don't usually upload on Thursdays, and I'm not usually sat on my couch either. I only usually do these type of videos when I'm doing a breaking news video or an announcement video. No announcement today. I just wanted to sit down and talk about injuries because Everton have today announced or informed us that Andre Gomes and Theo Walcott have both picked up injuries in training. Theo Walcott will see him sidelined for at least around 4 weeks. He's got to have abdominal surgery, or he's had abdominal surgery, due to an injury. Andre Gomes is not as bad. He'll be out for around about a week or so. He should return to full training next week. But the whole point of the video is as soon as I read this is coming, I'm recording this on Wednesday night, and about 6 hours ago during the afternoon there was a rumour that was floating about Twitter about Andre Gomes being injured and not being able to play in the Merseyside derby, and it turned out to just be somebody having everybody on and having a little bit of a laugh, and you sort of read it and you thought, oh bloody hell, thank God that's not true. And then literally an hour later Everton, release a tweet to state that not only has Theo Walcott picked up an injury and is going to miss the restart of the Premier League, but also Andre Gomes has picked up an injury as well. And although he's due to be back in training next week and it's not as serious as Theo Walcott's, the Merseyside derby is next Sunday, so whether Andre Gomes will be fit enough to start in the Merseyside derby, I don't know. And again, it's frustrating, isn't it, really, because you sit there and you think, is this just Everton's luck? Are we just the unluckiest team on the planet? Because it really seems like we are the unluckiest team on the planet. I've not heard any injury news from any other Premier League club since training's resumed. However, Everton Football Club have been back in training for what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks max, and you've got Jean-Philippe and Yerry Mina, Theo Walcott and Andre Gomes who have all picked up injuries, and only Andre Gomes out of those three players is likely to be available for the return of the Premier League next Sunday for when we play Liverpool. And even that is a doubt, obviously, because if he's not returning to full training until next week, is he going to be match fit to play against Liverpool on the Sunday? I don't know. And it got me thinking, and I've been thinking this for a while. I've never known a football club to suffer from injury problems as much as Everton. I read the stat yesterday. I was looking up some injury stats and injury news just because I was interested, really, and I read a stat that said that apparently in 2013-14, or the season prior, over 5 seasons from 09-10 I believe onwards, for 5 seasons, Everton players had actually accumulated more months out injured than Ross Barkley had been alive at that point. And I just read that and it was something like 280 months or something like that, and I thought, you know what, that article was written 5 years ago and nothing has changed since then. We're still seeing injuries constantly, and you'd have to sit down and obviously listen. Injuries are one of those things that you can't blame anyone for. There's no blame there. It's simply just unlucky. Players are going into training and picking up injuries. It's not their fault. Is it anybody's fault? I don't know. That's what I want to really talk about is, okay, the odd injury here and there, and an injury in a match scenario where a player slid in for a challenge, for example, and it hasn't worked out well, or a player's pulled a muscle on the pitch. You can't stop them. You can't avoid them. They're injuries that happen constantly, and they're just unlucky. However, we're seeing more and more injuries occur in training. Certainly as Evertonians, and certainly over the last 18 months or so, we're seeing near enough every week Everton releasing a training report as to state that somebody has picked up some form of knock. Now, I don't know if the lads have been trained too hard or they've been rushed into things too much, but for us to be back 2 or 3 weeks and Yerry Mina, Andre Gomes, Theo Walcott and Jean-Philippe who have all picked up injuries in those 2 weeks, it's very worrying. Now, okay, Jean-Philippe was because he was playing foot tennis with Andre Gomes and pissing about after training, whatever. I'm happy to concede that, that was probably just a bit of stupidity on his behalf and massively unlucky as well. Stupidity in the fact that he probably shouldn't have been playing foot tennis at the end of a training session. But the rest of them, you'd have to sort of sit there and think, well, how has Theo Walcott picked up an abdominal injury? That means he requires surgery. Where's Yerry Mina's injury come from? Why is Andre Gomes picking up another knock? Are the players being trained too hard? Are they being asked to do too much? Are they not fit? Are they not ready to return to football? Because there was a rule brought out, last week to state that football teams and Premier League teams can now have 5 substitutions and 9 available players on the bench. Everton aren't going to be able to field 5 fit players at this at this point. Never mind have 5 players available to bring on the pitch off the bench and have 9 players on the bench. Our bench is going to consist of a lot of young players who haven't even had a first team opportunity before. Now obviously the injury to Theo Walcott means he will miss the return of the Premier League, and it's likely that we may see Anthony Gordon now come in, which a lot of people may see as taking a positive out of a negative situation, getting to see young Anthony Gordon and seeing what he can bring. But for me, it just worries me every time I know a training report's coming from Finch Farm, because I'm just sitting here thinking, who's injured today, who's going to have picked up a knock, who's not available for the game at the weekend. And like I said, this hasn't just been happening since Carlo Ancelotti's come into the football club. This has been happening for years and years and years. Like I said, that stat before about Everton players from 2009, I believe it was, to 2014 having spent more time out injured than Ross Barkley had been alive in his entire career. The reason I mention Ross Barkley is because that article was from the 2014-15 season, and obviously Ross Barkley was an Everton player at that time. It is very, very worrying, and there's an element of it that I think we all look at on social media when we hear about these injuries and we think, yeah, we are just the unluckiest team on the planet. But you do have to sit back at a certain point and say, right, okay, well, is the medical team and is the fitness team the same fitness team that were under Marco Silva, that were under Ronald Koeman, that were under previous managers as well? That's what I want to establish straight off, is did Carlo Ancelotti bring his own fitness team? If not, then there's clearly something going wrong with the players in training and with the fitness coaches, because look, realistically, again, even taking into consideration that we are a very unlucky football club, the amount of injuries we get is just absolutely absurd, and it's always to key players in the team. You look at the 5 injuries we've had since football has returned, or since training has returned. They're not to players that are on the brink of a squad who probably wouldn't be getting an opportunity anyway. They're not to younger players. They're to Jean-Philippe who would be starting every week if he was fit, Yerry Mina who'd be starting next to Mason Holgate, Theo Walcott, who at the moment and prior to the Premier League suspension was starting frequently because we don't really have anybody else in that position, Andre Gomez, who is a key starting midfielder to our team as well. They're all to players that we massively need in the next coming weeks and months, and obviously we're not going to have available to us. And okay, it's okay sitting here now saying, well, we can make exception for Theo Walcott being out and even make exception for Yerry Mina or Jean-Philippe, but I'm just really fearful that we're going to turn around next week, 3 days before the Merseyside derby, and we're going to see another injury report which sees Mason Holgate out injured, or Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison. And again, I'm not putting the blame on the fitness team of Finch Farm, I'm not putting the blame on the medical team. It could purely just be the fact that we are a massively unlucky football club and that our players are just picking up injuries left, right and centre. But I don't know whether I'm 100% convinced that that's the case. I just have a little bit of a worry that the players are being asked to do too much. 4 players picking up injuries in the space of 2 weeks, to me states that maybe they haven't been fit enough coming into the return of the training. Maybe they haven't been doing the exercises and the workouts that they've been asked to do as frequently as they were asked to do them at home, or maybe simply they were just pushed too hard when they returned to Finch Farm. But ultimately, whatever's gone on in the background, whatever the reasoning is, whether it's an issue with the training team or whether it's just pure unlucky, the bottom line is that Everton are now going into a Premier League game for the first time in 2-3 months, Merseyside derby against Liverpool, with a number of players that are out injured and probably won't feature in that game that we desperately needed. So there you go. I just wanted to sit down and really talk about it. There's been no real conclusion to this video. I just wanted to sit down and talk about it because I honestly do think that we could be one of the most unlucky football clubs on the planet. Let me know what you think. Like I said, don't usually upload videos on a Thursday, certainly not in this type of setting, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We can only hope that Andre Gomez will be fit and ready for the Merseyside derby on the 21st of June, obviously next Sunday. However, like I said, we can only pray and hope for that. It looks like Yerry Mina won't be fit for that game. It also looks like Theo Walcott won't be either after picking up an abdominal injury today in training. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. What can you do, eh? what can you do? Just close our eyes whenever we know a training report's going to be published. But there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed these videos, please do hit that like button. It means a massive amount to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Flying towards that 1,800 subscriber mark now, so if you could hit the subscribe button, it'd mean a massive amount to me. Recently hit 2,000 followers on Twitter as well, which is a massive achievement, so thank you all very much for that. I really do appreciate all of your support. Big thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Leave a like if you've enjoyed, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.